Hello dear students, I'm once again in front of you and from Shivjyoti Convent, Shivjyoti Educational Group, Kota, right? So, we have decided to start a revision class, revision lecture for you because we always care for you, right? So, to begin with, the last lesson, though it is, ironically this is first lesson, but in the chapter its title is the last lesson, right? What it is about, you all might have come to know what it is about, but still this is just a revision, right? The last lesson is authored by Alphonse Daudet, you know. It was written by Alphonse Daudet, and in the year 1870 when France was captured by Bismarck-led Prussian forces. Yes, this chapter is based on the background when the war was going on and French, something wrong had happened to France. So, in the year 1870, we are talking about the year 1870 when France was captured by Bismarck-led Prussian forces, right? And there was the discontinuation of teaching French. French is the name of language and which is used in France. In India, Hindi, England, English, China, Chinese, Russia, Russian, like that, right? So, there was the discontinuation of teaching French, as you must remember that there was an order from Berlin, the capital of Germany. At that time, Germany had captured two of the important places, two of the important regions of France, and they were Alsace and Lorraine, right? And this instruction was there, and just as a herald, a strict instruction, what? That from just the next day, the teacher was to teach, the teacher was supposed to teach German, not French. How is it possible? Suppose students, I tell you, I have been told to start teaching Chinese just from tomorrow. Is it possible? Of course not. Then what option I'll have? I'll just leave. The same happened too. This M. Hamel, the teacher of that school, and he had been in that school for past 40 years and he had got attached. Sentimentals were there, sentiments were there, he was sentimental, right? So, he was sentimentally attached. So, the French teachers were ordered to leave. Obviously, they had two options, either start teaching German from the next day or you just leave. So, they had no other option but to leave, right? The last lesson from Anne Hamel was full of devotion and sincerity, right? Means on the day last, means on the last day when his last lecture was to be delivered, he was looking very much sincere, he was looking very much devoted in comparison with other days when he was not as much sincere as he was looking today, right? Friends, one of the students of M. Hamel has been late, so he thought, as usual like other days, today also I am going to be scolded by my teacher for being late. But lo, something wrong happened, means something different happened. What? He was not at all scolded, he was aghast, he was surprised. Look, was afraid and anticipating means expecting punishment. He means friends, little boy, he expected that he would be punished, he would be castigated by his teacher for being late. But nothing like that happened, right? So, our friends found the class strange and quiet. Unlike other days, the class was looking, the atmosphere of the classroom was looking quite different from other days. Everybody was quiet, and rest of the days, the students were found making noise. But today, and the teacher was found scolding and shouting at the students, scolding them, right? And then he learned that this will be his last lesson, and friends did not feel good when he came to know that his teacher M. Hamel was to teach them for the last time that day, because he was supposed to leave the school the next day because he didn't know how to teach German, right? So, a certain interest and attentiveness arises in him for learning French. You know, there is a human psychology. What? We just pine for what we don't have, and we just do not care what we already have. So, earlier when French was there, M. Hamel was teaching French, and Franz, the little boy, had no interest for that language. But as soon as he came to know that he was not to be taught from the next day the same language, automatically his interest developed, right? Instantly, he develops a liking and respect for the sincerity of M. Hamel. He started liking the teacher also. Hamel praises the French language as the most logical and beautiful language in the world, right? So, he was laying his stress over and again on the importance and significance of the language French, because he was to leave that language, he was to stop teaching that language. That's why naturally he developed interest for this. That's why he was speaking high of that language. And Hamel asked the class to guard their language, to escape the clutches of slavery and attain freedom, right? The last lesson reflects the importance of one's language for any race and why it is crucial to safeguard. Why is it important to protect the language from being vanished, as it did happen in two regions of France, and they were Alsace and Lorraine, right? So, with this chapter is complete. Let's switch to next chapter. So, hello students, let's have a look at chapter 2 of the same book, Flamingo, and the title of the chapter is The Last Spring. What is the meaning of spring? Spring means golden phase of one's life, right? And everybody knows that childhood is the best time period, best phase of one's life. We have got everything, and in return we have to worry about nothing, because naturally everything is given to us by others, like our parents, and we are free from all kind of anxieties. So, is it so in this chapter? Let's have a look. In the beginning, I won't tell you. I know you are already going through the chapter, but still, let's continue. And this chapter, Last Spring, was written by Anise Young, and she was based on, almost all her literary works were based on reality. So, let's have a look. Sometimes I find a rupee in the garbage. This is the title of the, let me tell you, basically this chapter has been divided into two parts, right? In first part, we are talking about childhood as golden period and what are the bliss of childhood. But ironically, some children, and most of the children, are already deprived of what they are supposed to enjoy, and that is going to school. All children are supposed to go to school during their childhood, but unfortunately, right, author's encounter with Sahib and later felt embarrassed. Yes, once it so happened that the author Anise Young came across with a child, you may call it rat picker, right, came across rat picker, and when the author asked the child its name, and the child told that his name was Sahib. Sahib? Yes ma'am, my name is Sahib Alam. How funny it looks. Look at the child, he was looking like a beggar, he was just a rat picker, but on the other hand, his name was Sahib Alam. You know the meaning of Sahib Alam? The Lord of Universe, God, Sahib Alam. But just opposite to that, he was, right? So, as soon as the author came to know the name, she also was feeling embarrassed, because how is it possible, right? Irony in name and existence. As I told you, the name is Sahib Alam, but ironically its meaning is Lord of Universe. And look at this boy who was known as Sahib Alam from Bangladesh, Dhaka, right? But he was just a rag picker. So, my dear students, one thing from my side to you, your birthplace is not important. What is important? Your deeds, your work, what you do throughout your life. That can make you great. Your birth can never make you great. Got it? Rag pickers abode means dwelling place. All these rag pickers were collectively living at an area of Delhi, on the outskirts of Delhi, and that name was Simapuri, a boon for the dwellers. Dwellers means migrated people who migrated from their own nations. They all got collected over there and they took shelter in India, and it had been going on since 1971. So, we can say Sahib Alam and his parents, means Sahib Alam's parents got migrated from their land. Reasons were so many reasons were there, but somehow they got settled here, and since then they have been living here. And Sahib Alam is also one of the residents of the Simapuri, right? Rag picker, Sahib's eternal yearning for shoes. Yes, Sahib is keenly interested in wearing shoes, footwear, right? Games and a carefree life like other children. He is also a child. So, what's his fault? His fault is to take birth in Bangladesh? Not at all. Man is a slave at the hands of time, circumstances. Man is just a puppet at the hands of circumstances. So was Sahib too, right? Sahib entirely transformed but not happy. Actually, Sahib not at all happy with what he gets, right? But still, one has to make compromise with one has got, right? I want to drive a car. The second part, the title of the second part is I want to drive a car, and this is the story about Mukesh, the main protagonist of this chapter, the main character of this chapter. What he says, it is his yearnings, it is his wish that he wants to drive a car, but how is it possible? Being poor, is it possible, do you think? Is it possible for him to drive a car? Of course not. But he believed in working hard, right? Mukesh, a child laborer in a glass factory in Firozabad, wishes to be a motor mechanic. I told you Mukesh is the main character of this part, and he works in a glass factory, right, as a child laborer. So many child laborers are there. So this chapter is based on the lives of child laborers, right, and the first part about Sahib Alam, that was based on poverty stricken people, right. Working conditions in a glass furnaces. In glass furnaces means the factories, small or big factories, glass factories where people work, where children work, they were full of adverse moments and adverse circumstances were there, and children in their early childhood used to lose their eyesight, and ultimately one moment came when they were used to that darkness inside those factories, and when they were face to face with the original sunlight, they felt uneasy because they were used to darkness. Dingy workplaces were there, right? Deplorable, very pathetic condition was their living conditions in Firozabad. I am talking about Firozabad is one of the cities of India which is well known for glasswares, bangles and different glasswares, right? So very deplorable and pathetic condition is there, means the condition under which the people work is very deplorable. We have to take pity on them. The author visits Mukesh's house, means the author has got some kind of curiosity about the living condition of Mukesh's house. So the author expresses his wish, whether can I visit your home, and Mukesh agreed. A half-built shack with thatched dead grass, means that was just a temporary living place over there, okay. Elder brother's wife, a typical woman. She was found doing some household chores, but the living atmosphere inside that so-called shack, means hut, right? So that was not good. Mukesh's father, a poverty-stricken head of the family, to hand over the art of bangle making, means this job, this art of bangle making has been shifted from one generation to another, then one generation to another, means it has been going on since long. Mukesh's grandmother's view of life, means she believes in destiny. Mukesh's grandmother is a staunch believer in destiny. She believes whatever has been given to us in our destiny, means whatever we have been destined to get, we will get, not more than that, not before that. She was of the opinion. Birth in caste of bangle makers, inevitable destiny. Inevitable means unavoidable, means one who is born in such families, he is supposed to follow the same profession, same work being followed by his parents or grandparents. Irony in perception of relations, how typical relations are. So Mukesh is not at all interested in going with this profession, and his wish is to become a driver, car driver. He wants to become a mechanic. In this way he will be able to drive cars, just on the contrary to his paternal profession, right? Time stands still in Firozabad, right? It seems that time is not moving, but time is. So dear students, let's continue with this chapter. Time seems to stand still in Firozabad. There has been no development. It seems that this city has been discarded by so-called politicians, police and other people who are responsible for the development of a nation, right? Getting organized into a cooperative society a way out. Means the author suggests that why don't you get collected in the form of some cooperative societies. In this way you will be getting so many benefits from the government and local government also. But the author is getting a response, negative response from these people, that until or unless nothing is possible, the author gets a response that is negative, that this is not possible for them, and once or twice they have tried for the same, but they were badly beaten. They were given very wrong response and negative response was given to them. That's why they step back, right? Children's victim of two worlds. One is rag picker and second is bangle making. In both the worlds, children are not happy. They are devoid of the bliss of childhood. Desire to dream and they're snubbed in childhood, right? Mukesh, an exception of the family business with different dream, means Mukesh is just an exception because he doesn't want to go out, he doesn't want to go on with his paternal profession, but he wants to become a motor mechanic. In this way we can say that children also have got different wishes. We should not impose all our wishes on them. They also have some dreams to become in their childhood. Ultimately, after all, this is their life. So dear students, that's all with this chapter. Let's switch to something else. Just see. Thank you. So dear students, let's have a look at the summary, short piece of the poem Keeping Quiet. Hey, keep quiet. Please don't. Means I don't mean to keep you quiet. Means silent. Means not utter even a single word. But it is somewhat different. Means just avoid all the hubbubs of life. Let's say. Right? Keeping Quiet is composed by Pablo Neruda, the poet, and the poet asked to count from 1 to 12 and request everyone not to speak. Just keep quiet, just hold on. Whatever you are doing, just stop doing that. Whatever you are speaking, just hold on, stop doing that. Maybe we are able to save someone's life. Maybe we are able to perform something noble, right? The moment when everyone stops moving and their activities. In this period of inactivity, the fishermen would not harm the whales. Means, I told you, we are able to save somebody's life. The salt gatherers will look after their injured hands, and not all this, but we will be able to look at ourselves, what we are living in and what we are doing to ourselves. So in this way we will be able to have a closer look at ourselves, what we are doing, and we will be able to make some kind of improvements. We will be able to make some improvements in our life, right? So the man who are in wars, who are already engaged in wars and victorious on the deaths of innocent people, will join their enemy and stand in unity, doing nothing and promoting universal brotherhood and peace. Let me ask you, what is the significance of wars? Why do we wage wars? What is the utility? Now you will say, other people will say, so victory. Victory at what cost? Means we are killing one human being and we are calling ourselves victorious. It's of no use killing other people. Just tell me, what wrong have they done to you? Means suppose you are ready to kill one of your enemy soldiers, right? You are ready to kill him. I just ask you, why are you ready to kill him? What wrong has he done to you? So if I do not kill him, he would kill me. The same question, my dear. I am asking you, why is he ready to kill you and why you are ready to kill him? And it is well explained through one of the poems, Wars. And that poem was composed by Thomas Hardy, right? Go to that if you have got time. In this way you will get the theme of the poem. So what's the use? So if we keep quiet means if we stop doing that, what we are doing. So in this way the enemy soldiers will also stop taking aims at us and they will also not kill us, and we will be saved, and we both will be saving lives of each other, right? So it will be boon. Next, the state of inactivity should not be associated with death. The poet is saying, Pablo Neruda is saying that stop doing whatever you are doing. It doesn't mean you have to sit idle. No. The main aim of the poet is saying just sit idle. This is not correct. We don't have to be idle, but we have to utilize the time. We don't have to engage ourselves in destructive activities, right? We should think of something that can be helpful to other people. Everyone is working continuously to achieve one's goal. Everybody has got some goals. Some of you might have some goals to become a CA, to become an engineer, to become a doctor. Different people, different perceptions of life. So everybody has got some goals of life. But the thing is, to what extent all are able to achieve their goals of life? He wants us to be happy about our achievements and celebrate them. Whatever we have got as our achievements, we should celebrate them. We should not keep pining for this and that, otherwise we will be disturbed. We won't get anything, right? Keeping quiet will be a rebirth for the human soul. If we really keep quiet, if we stop causing harm to other people, our fellow beings, in this way we will be able to utilize this current birth, right? Whatever the birth time is going on, we will be able to utilize it. Giving a new meaning to our life. Yes, chalti ka naam gaadi. Life is what we live, right? Again, the poet says that he will count till 12 and ask everyone to remain quiet while he leaves, right? So in this way, the poet is saying, just my dear countrymen, my dear people, my dear all human beings, just stop doing whatever you are engaged in, and in this way you will see that all are living peacefully. With this, thank you, stay tuned, stay blessed.